Hi everyone, this is Andy, and this is the third video in my short series about integrating Autogen with the new OpenAI GPT Assistant API. So to start things off, that's a little bit of a mouthful to say, so from now on, I think I'm just going to call them agents. I am pretty sure that's what everyone else is doing anyways, and it's a lot easier to say. So the topic of this video is that just recently, I think actually yesterday, Autogen added the ability to use retrieval augmented generation with the GPT Assistant. This is another one of those things that is a beta preview feature, so just like last time, there's probably going to be a few bugs along the way, and things probably won't work perfectly for some time. But let's dive in and see what we can do. So this example is going to be pretty short, hopefully pretty simple. So just like last time, here I am in Visual Studio Code. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new terminal window by hitting Command-Shift-P and then typing in new terminal. Here we are. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new Conda environment for our project, just like I've done in previous videos. So this should be pretty familiar to you. Conda create, give it a name, give it a Python version. I'm still going to use 3.11.3 for this. It's going to ask me if I want to proceed. I'm going to say yes. And if you've already done this before, it's just going to confirm that you want to overwrite what you've done before or not. For the purposes of this video, it doesn't really matter either way. So we have our new Conda environment. So I'm going to go ahead and activate that. And then I'm going to go ahead and see the version of Python in this Conda environment. Where exactly is that on disk? As with previous videos, what I want to do is use this exact installation of Python so that there's no potential issues with package management. So that is there, and I am going to go ahead and install the newest version of the Autogen preview. As you can see here, I am now using 0.2.0b6, whereas in previous videos we were using b5. From now on, we're going to be using b6. So I'm going to go ahead and install this. And with any luck, there we go. We are installed. So, just like last time, I'm going to start off by creating a new file, calling it OAI_config_list. And this is just as we've done in the past, where I'm going to put all of our API keys, and just like last time, yes, I am going to deactivate this key before publishing this video, so no need to worry about that. Now, I am going to create another new file. I am going to call it, how about retrieve.py? All right, there's that. Now, before we do anything else, you can see in the console down here, I have our Conda environment, Autogen YT active, but in Visual Studio Code, if we look in the lower right-hand corner, it's not active. So I'm going to click on this, and it's going to give me a menu with all of my environments installed. Now, as you can see, Autogen YT is not there. So I'm going to hit the refresh button here, and hopefully it should appear. There it is. All right. So I'm going to click on that, and now our Conda environment is active in Visual Studio Code as well. Just like last time, I have a short code sample prepared. I'm going to copy and paste that on in here. And in a little bit of a departure from previous videos, I'm actually going to go ahead and run this right now. And the reason is because I've noticed this morning a little bit of slowness with the OpenAI API. So I'm going to let this run in the background while we go over the code. So I'm going to hit run. It's going to go ahead and do its thing. And while it's doing that, let's talk about this code. So if you've been following along with this video series, or really with any other video series about Autogen, a lot of this should look really familiar to you already. Imports, config list, assistant ID is none. Just as a reminder, if you've already created a GPT agent in your account, you can give the assistant ID of that agent here and call up an instance of it. We're not going to do that. We want to make a new agent on the fly. So we're going to give it the assistant ID of none. Now, the new thing, and really the important part in this video, is in the LLM config, just like before, we're giving it a config list, we're giving it our assistant ID of none, which means it will create a new assistant for us. But now we are giving it a tools array, and we are specifying a type of tool called retrieval. And then we are also giving it an array of file IDs. Now, you may have played with this already. If not, if you go to your OpenAI account, you should be able to find a management page for files. So you can upload different things that you want your assistant agents to use. PDF files that you want them to parse through. In my case, what I've done is I've actually uploaded a Python notebook for this agent to parse through, which is what we're going to see in the terminal output down here. So I've uploaded a Python notebook that is actually the notebook that I got this code from. So this little program is basically going to describe itself to us. So I've created a GPT assistant. You are adept at summarizing Python notebooks. I've created our user proxy. This time, just in a departure from what we've done in the past, I'm going to say human input mode is always, just so it can ask me for some feedback. And then I'm going to initiate the chat, and I'm going to say, I gave you a Python notebook. Could you please describe it? And it looks like this is finished running, so let's look and see what it did. Okay, I gave you a Python notebook. Could you please describe it? And the assistant says, the Python notebook you've provided contains information and code regarding the implementation of an experimental agent class for conversation called GPT Assistant Agent, which is part of the Autogen project, and so on and so forth. And as you can see here, it provides a fairly nice summary of the notebook. And at the end, it's asking us to provide feedback to the assistant. Press enter to skip to use auto reply, or just type exit. So I'm just going to say exit because I think we're done here. Hit enter. You can see that it's permanently deleting this assistant because of this line here. So this cleans anything out of my account that I don't want there. And that is basically it. So again, in order to do this, for your LLM config, you need to have an array of tools. One of those tools has to be of type retrieval, and you have to provide a list of file IDs, and these file IDs are automatically generated for you when you upload something to your OpenAI account. Just as in previous videos, I'm going to put a gist of this code in the description. I'm also going to provide a link to the notebook where I got this from. And a final note is that I would like to throw a shout out to Matthew Berman's YouTube channel. That's where I learned a lot of this stuff. And if you'd like to know more about just AI in general or Autogen specifically, check out his channel to learn more. So there it is. Let me know if you make anything cool, and I will see you next time.